Guys, welcome to the city that has more Irish than Dublin, more Jews than Tel Aviv, and also more Puerto Ricans than San Juan. Welcome to the Big Apple. We're in New York City, and we're gonna explore this place together. We're gonna see what there is to do here. I'm just a normal tourist, man. I might live 3 hours from here, but I really have no idea what I'm doing here. So, we're gonna explore today, eat some good food, see some cool sights. Let's get it. These are my first impressions of New York City. The city seems a lot safer and cleaner than I imagined it to be, and I'm not claiming New York City is either of those things necessarily, but my expectations for safety and cleanliness were very low entering the city. It could be partly because I was in Manhattan instead of the Bronx, just a side note. I also learned quickly that New Yorkers are obsessed with bagel shops and food trucks. If you walk 100 steps in any part of the city, there will probably be a bagel shop to your left and a food truck to your right, and later on in this video I'll try New York City bagels, so stay tuned for that. Another thing is that New York City is easily the most diverse city in the world by far. Within 5 minutes, I heard at least 10 languages spoken, and you'll see people from just about every country of the world. Another thing is that New York City doesn't smell as bad as I expected. At least Manhattan doesn't, but you'll quickly notice the smell of marijuana is almost everywhere. Dispensaries are on every corner, so if you don't like the smell of it, just prepare yourself. Without further ado, let's start exploring, and our first destination is Central Park. If you love movies, then you'll probably recognize this place. This is Bethesda Terrace. This place is iconic for the amount of famous movies that were filmed here, some of which include Avengers, Elf, Home Alone 2, Enchanted, and Godspell, just to name a few. So one fun fact about Central Park that you might not know is that it is huge. But how big is it? It takes up 6% of the entire Manhattan area, and it covers 843 acres. So this park is absolutely massive. You could spend realistically 4 hours here walking the park to see absolutely everything. And again, you do have these stations over here, which are bikes. They're basically tuk-tuks. If you know what that is, you know, they have them in India, they have them in South America and other places. And you can basically take that bike, take that tuk-tuk, and go all around the park within, 30 minutes, an hour maybe, cutting down your time significantly. If you are in a rush to see New York, you only have a day here, maybe that would be a good option. The only thing is that they vary in cost, and they can be super expensive. They can range from $35 to $300. So just be careful with that. Know the price ahead of time and know what you're expected to pay if you decide to take that option. I believe people can rent those boats. I want to find out more information about that because I don't know the specific details, but this could be a fun activity to do. So in this filthy, murky water, we still have some little turtles here, just trying to survive. We actually have quite a few. There's at least 6 of them here. Wow. So guys, we are in the beautiful Central Park in New York City, but there is one dark secret this park has that you might not know about. So what is this dark secret? Well, what happened is in the 1830s, there was a community here called Seneca Village. And actually, it was right over there where they're doing construction right now. So what exactly happened? Well, in the 1850s, they basically told those people, there were about 250 of them. Some of them were freed Africans, and some of them were Irish, which were frowned upon in society at that point in time. So they basically told them, you guys got to leave. We're planning a park here. You guys have to go. And they received no compensation for that. Their homes were just completely destroyed, and 250 more people became homeless in New York City. So that's just a sad reality. So one thing that I've noticed so far about New York City, and specifically the Central Park area, that really caught my attention, you can see all these people running right now, and they have a lane reserved for biking, for running, for activities like that. I think that this basically eliminates the stereotype that in America, oh, everybody's fat and everything like that. To be honest with you, in New York City, I've seen maybe 2 or 3 fat people since I have gone to New York City. I've never had an artist draw me before, but in Central Park, there's a lot of artists that are drawing caricatures of people, so I wanted to take advantage of this opportunity, and this is how it came out. Wow, that's really good. Wow, man, thank you, man. I appreciate it. This is really nice. So the next thing I had to do was try a New York City style bagel, and I was absolutely shocked when I walked into that store and I saw the amount of people waiting for their bagels, and also the amount of options that they have. Like, they have all different kinds of cream cheese and all these other things you put on your bagel that I've never even once thought about putting on a bagel before. So we went to that bagel place, and honestly,
It's a cool place. It really is. But the bad side is that, unfortunately, there's very little room in these bagel shops. So we had to go back to the hotel. We're going to consume this. I got a blueberry bagel with blueberry cream cheese because I'm pretty basic. And I'm going to eat this, tell you how I feel about it.
It was definitely one of the best bagels I had in my life. Not even going to deny it. Anyways, the next place that we're going is Soho. So we are in another region of New York City right now called Soho. And this region is very well known for tourists coming here to basically spend their money on stuff. And from what I heard, there was a lot of upscale stores here, but I was very surprised to find that on the streets, there's people selling things like on the floor, on the ground, and you know, they're selling knockoff purses, wallets, that sort of stuff, knockoff hats of these high quality brands. So that's something that really surprised me. So guys, we went from Soho to New York's Chinatown. And there's a map over there. We're gonna see where we are because I actually have no idea. I'm kind of lost. But you can already see that a lot of restaurants have writing in either Cantonese or Mandarin. The story of how Chinatown originated in New York City is a sad tale of rejection. Before coming to New York City, almost all of the Chinese immigrants started their journey in California, working on either railroads or gold mines. However, many Chinese people in California received threats or were assaulted, so the community slowly began immigrating to the lower Manhattan area around Mott Street, Pell Street, and Doyer Street, where Chinatown is today. This area is close to the docks and factories where many Chinese found new opportunities. So you already know we had to enter one of these Chinese marketplaces. And they have all these different flavors of ramen. Like they have spicy ramen, they have lobster ramen, jajang noodles. They also got some weird chip flavors. They got squid flavored chips. Squid flavored chips, that's crazy. They also have tomato chips, crab flavored chips. They got these seaweed chips, which look quite interesting. I feel like these might not be bad, to be honest. These are chips made out of ramen. Guys, this might be the weirdest thing I've seen yet. Preserved duck egg. I heard that this is huge in the Chinese community, but I also heard that a lot of Americans and foreigners think that this is absolutely disgusting. It's a duck egg, it's a black egg, and I heard that they ferment it. Another thing I found that's super weird, at least for me as a dumb American, is they have fish balls. So basically like meatballs, but with fish instead of meat, which I've never seen before, but hey, to each their own. We got some fish here at the market, so if you're hungry and want a live one, you can go ahead and do that. There's a few right down there. We got all sorts of fish here. We got largemouth bass here as well. We got a cute one over there. Maybe you could buy one and keep it as a pet. I don't even know what kind of fish this is. Is this an eel? Oh my god, these are eels. Holy crap, I've never seen an eel this close before. That's crazy. They also have bananas from Thailand. We got some more fruit here. This is called a sugar apple. I've never seen that before in my life. Fresh jujube. I don't know what that is. Dude, we got all this variety here. So now we went from Little China to Little Italy. So we have some Italian goods here now. And it's so weird how you can go from one block to another in New York City and you have two completely different racial groups right beside each other, but completely divided. It's just a very strange concept. Between 1880 and 1920, over 4 million Italians left Italy, especially Sicily, and immigrated to the United States in search of better opportunities. They settled very close to Chinatown, and Chinatown is actually only a block away from Little Italy, which was very shocking to me. They stayed in their own Italian communities because, similarly to the Chinese, they were highly discriminated against. And by 1930, more than 1 million Italians lived in New York City, which made up almost 20% of New York City's total population. To end day one, we had to go to one of the most visited tourist attractions in the entire world, Times Square, which attracts 50 million people annually. Times Square was originally called Longacre Square and was farmland and small businesses originally, until Times newspaper moved there in 1904, and by the 1920s it was filled with jazz clubs, theaters, and vibrant nightlife. So guys, honestly, coming here at Times Square at night is cool and all, but there are so many people here. So if you're like claustrophobic or something, maybe avoid it at night. But honestly, I would say coming here at night is a must-do in New York. Just seeing all the action, seeing all the billboards. I don't know, I feel like everything just hits a little bit differently at night. But there are a ton of people here. So again, keep that under consideration. So So guys, I feel like this is an appropriate way to end day one in New York. We'll be back tomorrow. We're gonna do something different and we'll see you there. So guys, we are approaching the part of the trip that's a little bit sad, remembering what happened on 9/11. And we're gonna see the monument that stands dedicated to the victims of 9/11. And also behind me, this is the World Trade Center right here, the new one, which was built within 8 years. I believe they started construction in 2006 and they finished it in 2014. So let's go see the monument dedicated to probably the worst tragedy in United States history. The twin reflecting pools where the Twin Towers used to be was open to the public on September 11th, 2011, 10 years after the horrible attacks that happened. Each pool is nearly an acre in size and it is the largest man-made waterfall in America. 2,983 people lost their lives in the horrible attacks, and now their names are inscribed around the edges. It was truly breathtaking to see, but also for me, it had a very gloomy, somber, and extremely dreary type of energy to it. It is one thing to visit a historic monument where people lost their lives hundreds of years ago, but it is very different when it happened so recently. It was strange that some people were smiling, taking photos in front of the place where nearly 3,000 people lost their lives, at least in my opinion. The one positive from this experience is that there's a tree that has uplifting messages written on sticky notes surrounding it for the families of the victims and for humanity as a whole, and they're written in several different languages, and some of them genuinely brought tears to my eyes. And my favorite was, "Don't let the heaviness of the world sink you." Guys, I know we just got done with something super tragic, but something I wanted to know is this Burger King serves beer. I've never seen a Burger King serve beer before. This is just mind-blowing. Also the building, this is one of the coolest looking Burger Kings I've ever seen in my life. The next place we stopped by was the Trinity Church, but I came here specifically for the graveyard because Alexander Hamilton is buried here. He was the founding father of the United States, the first Secretary of the Treasury, and also he was shot and killed in a duel by the Vice President at that time, Aaron Burr. So this building is called Francis Tavern, and I guess it's a museum and restaurant and bar nowadays. And this is one of the oldest buildings in New York City that is still in its original building. Also, this is where George Washington celebrated with his army after defeating the British in 1783. So guys, I'll tell you that crossing the Brooklyn Bridge is a remarkable experience. However, in my opinion, it's a little bit overrated. I was on there yesterday. I didn't really feel that safe. It seemed like it was gonna fall apart at any moment. Maybe I'm just being a little bit biased, but I wasn't a fan too much. But this place right here, I am a big fan of. This is called Pier 17. And as you can see by the scenery around me, it's absolutely gorgeous. And as I said earlier, there's that place over there. You can go get some food, go get some beers, do what you gotta do. And honestly, this is just a cool place to hang out, get that iconic Brooklyn Bridge photo, and just enjoy the weather. And also, over here, over there, right, that is Brooklyn, another part of New York City. And in that part of Brooklyn, there's this little section called Dumbo where you can also get an iconic picture of the Brooklyn Bridge. So if you want to come here to Pier 17, or if you want to go over there at Dumbo, that is your decision. The last place that we had to go to was the iconic Empire State Building. So guys, this is a look of what the 80th floor looks like. So guys, now we are on the 102nd floor. We have gone even higher in elevation. Let me tell you something. How in the world did they convince people back then to work this high up? They were this high up on beams. They had no security line. They had no guarantee of life after this. How did they do this, man? What? This is crazy. Sorry for screaming, but wow, this is insanity for me. This is so crazy. I feel like this is an appropriate place to end the video. Thank you guys so much for watching this, and if you made it this far, please consider subscribing. There's more content coming soon, and I will see you guys in the next video.